The following podcast is a SIMPRONTO Media production.
Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. And I have Rachel Varga here, and her website is rachelvarga.ca. And she, obviously, if you're watching this, you'll see how beautiful her skin is, but she has an amazing body and amazing skin. And today we are talking about what to eat and when to eat to have fabulous skin. So welcome.
Thanks so much for having me again on the show, Chantel. It's a pleasure to be here and see you.
I know. I just love talking with you. I feel like I always learn so much. So let's talk a little bit about you personally, because your skin is absolutely flawless. And it's funny because I obviously get to see you in person sometimes and get to see it. And that's like one of the first things I notice about you. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's got a perfect body and perfect skin. So let's talk about, what does your routine look like? Like, when do you eat? Do you practice intermittent fasting? And kind of what are you fueling your body with?
Oh, this is such a loaded question. And I'm going to hit on a few sort of practical things. And then I also want to touch on some sort of like conscious beauty topics, holistic beauty topics as well, just to really help you guys listening to optimize what you're doing on the inside and out. Because what I've found with working with thousands of patients over nearly the last 10 years and 18,000 procedures later is that it's really not just about what you're putting on your skin and what you're putting in your body. It's sort of everything else you're doing in your lifestyle. It's like layering different quote unquote pieces of the puzzle, as I like to say. So while we're here, let's just start off with sort of how I eat. My hubby's a pro athlete, so living a really healthy life I get that obviously with everything that I do as a nurse, but then also from my partner as well. So he keeps me in check. Don't be fooled. I definitely draw on him for support and encouragement and keeping me on track as well. But I definitely do intermittent fast after supper. I might have, bone broth or tea, or if I'm hungry, I'll have like half a banana. But I typically don't like to eat at night. And the reason why, I just find I don't sleep very well. I wake up and my stomach will be kind of like heavy feeling. I just won't feel great. So I end up sleeping better. I end up feeling better the next morning when I fast from about, I'd say 6:30 until about 12 o'clock the next day. So I'll wake up, I'll have some water, obviously filtered out of like a glass jar or like a mug or a glass cup. I really avoid my exposure to plastics and what I eat and drink on. And then I'll have my bulletproof coffee. I just take it black. I might have a banana in the morning if I'm seeing clients in the clinic and I just need that extra energy. But I typically won't eat until lunchtime the next day. And that just seems to really work for me. I don't really know how I came to that realization of that's sort of like the intermittent fast window for me. It's different for everybody, but it just...
You like an earlier eating window then?
Yeah. Yeah. So having like a lunch, I love to have my greens. So I grow a lot of my own greens here. We're on a nice property. And so we have outdoor garden with all these greens that are deer proofed. And then we also have a greenhouse. So just getting a lot of those active enzymes and alive foods in my diet is really, really important. So I do shy away from things like grains, for example, rice and quinoa, after doing some nutrition investigation on my own physiology, that I tend to not really do well with those types of foods. So keeping like greens with every meal is really key. I do eat meat, but I am cognizant of where that meat comes from. I'm quite lucky where I live. I live on an island where there's actually farms right across the road from me. So it's easy for me to get good eggs and meat and things like that and know where that meat's coming from.
That's awesome. I'm starting to grow my own garden too. Like I have so much stuff growing. It's crazy. I have like those beds. What I did was I got horse troughs, and they're these huge horse troughs that normally you do for water. And then I also have built some beds, and right now I have like 4 of them plus additional ones. You guys have to, I'll post it on Facebook for you to see, but it's just amazing and I'm really enjoying it. So like, what's a typical meal for you look like? What would you eat for lunch today?
Yeah, for lunch, I would actually have leftovers. So we had like this chicken stew. So it was chicken with some cooked kale, some sliced up red peppers. And then actually we had some homemade pasta that was with like a chicken stock. And it's really fun being able to make your own pasta. It's actually really easy. Do it with your family on like a Sunday afternoon or something like that. And then, just use it as you need it. But I'd rather do that for pasta than sort of like the packaged stuff that just has all sorts of preservatives and things like that. And then I'll put it on like a bed of greens. So that's typically what my lunch is like leftovers from the next day. A snack I really like is, say, half an avocado with some crackers. I love that. Or like a smoothie. In the afternoon, I do a lot of almonds, cashews, and dates as well as just like a quick snack on the go. So I get that balance of sweet and salty. And then for supper, it's really just like a nice mix of meat and veg. And I do have to have some starches just to satiate myself. So I love yams or potatoes or squashes, or sometimes I'll even do like roasted Brussels sprouts or fried up Brussels sprouts. I love that.
So what are some skin routines that you would say that you do all the time? So like, what does your skin routine look like?
Okay, well, let's just walk you through everyday morning with Rachel Varga. I wake up, I go to the bathroom, I'll ask my hubby to put the coffee on for me, something like that. He's really good about that. I love it. And then I'll, take my bath, or I'll wash my face, and I'll actually have my red light therapy going in the bathroom as well. So I'll focus on getting my front, or I'll focus on getting my back during that time. So I'll have it on usually for about at least 10 minutes in the morning. And I just love it. For some reason, I just really like having that red light in the room. It just makes me feel good. Also, when I'm getting ready, if it's nice and sunny outside, I'll pull up the curtain in the bathroom window and I'll let the sunlight actually get on my skin first thing and into my eyes. So that's a really great tip for just helping you get your vitamin D, because a lot of us are lacking that. And it just feels really good to get that light on your skin first thing in the morning. And then sometimes I'll always wash my face. So I like to use a gel cleanser in the morning, just a little bit, just to kind of get off the oils, from my hair and my sheets. You got to cleanse the skin morning and night. And then I'll put on maybe an eye cream if I need it. Definitely a face cream on the face, neck, chest, top of the shoulders, and the hands. And then my mineral-based tinted sunscreen. And then I'll put my makeup on. I don't usually go too crazy with my routine. I find just like a simple 3 or 4 step routine is great for me. And then in the evening, I love to take baths in the evening with my red light on. And so I'll get a good 20 minutes of my red light in the evening as well. And then I'll do that again. I end up using a little bit more cleanser in the evening to take off my mineral-based makeup. And then putting on, again, eye cream if I feel like the skin around my eyes is just a little bit dry. Otherwise, I'll just use my facial moisturizer all over the face, the eyes, the eyelids, the neck, chest, the hands. And sometimes in the evening, I'll do my dermal rolling. So that's a great way to stimulate collagen. So how you do that is you cleanse the skin, then you do your rolling, and then you apply your active serums on over top, and then you go to bed. So it's a really great cost-effective way to stimulate collagen at home. And it's a pretty tried and true method that's been around for decades. It's called collagen induction therapy. There's tons of studies on the topic out there.
Hey guys, one of the things that will take your weight loss to the next level is coaching. You can either work one-on-one with me or one of our certified private coaches. If you'd like, you can schedule your free call. It's a 10-minute strategy call just to see if coaching is going to really take you to the next level. The other thing is listening to the audiobook. Listening to the audiobook and getting the video course that I've done, people are seeing dramatic results. If you just listen to the audiobook 30 minutes a day over and over and over again and get the video course, go to chantelrayway.com and check out the video course. You won't be sorry you did. So do you it's funny because I just recently started selling beauty counter makeup because I was, using all this other makeup before that was like, my food, I've really like cleaned up my diet and made sure there's no chemicals and that sort of thing. But my makeup, I have really kind of made on the second kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I just haven't fixed that portion. So now I'm starting to clean up my makeup. What are the products that you love as far as the makeup that you love to do and the products that you love that you feel like are the cleanest and make the biggest difference in your skin?
Yeah, there's a couple of brands out there, and you guys listening are probably going to have a good laugh at me, but I can't remember the last time I went into these sort of like beauty stores where you just
like Ulta or Sephora.
Yeah, I didn't really want to say the names in particular, but there's just so much garbage out there, and it's just all marketing, greenwashing, pink washing, blue washing. So I'm all about conscious beauty and just helping direct people towards products that are suitable for their skin types. So possibly to avoid making any specific product recommendations, I would actually encourage people, if you're not really sure where to start with your skincare and your makeup and things like that, just book a call with me and I'll spend an hour with you. We'll talk about your skin goals, and then I'll kind of review what you're currently doing at home and make some tweaks to optimize it. Because what we're learning with everything, with regenerative medicine, anti-aging, being healthy, is we have to customize things. We can't just do what the latest influencers are telling us to do. I'm a firm believer in actually doing labs and gene testing. We're not just talking 23andMe. We're talking like full-on panels to help you figure out what nutrients you want to have in your diet, your beauty products, and which ingredients you need to avoid. And that's really key because we all have different physiologies. We all have different genetic makeups. So one ingredient for one person actually might not be great for someone else. For example, coconut oil. That's something that's touted as being really good. Or, quinoa was touted as this perfect ancient grain. But someone like me, I can't handle it. It seems to not do well for me and it makes me break out. So yeah, I would suggest just
well, which ingredient, and that totally makes sense because some people, like for me, coconut oil is just so good for me. Like I really do well with coconut oil, and so I could like pour it on all over my body. That's what I use to get massages with. So awesome. My husband always like, I get a massage twice a week, and my husband's always like, "Come here, my little almond joy," because I like coconut. So, but I'm wondering, for what would you say are some things that are just red flags that nobody should have, right? Like if you're looking at the ingredients in your makeup or in things that you say, I don't care if you're blue, yellow, or purple, like nobody needs to have this ingredient in their skincare or in their products. What would you say those are?
Yeah, that's a perfect question. That's actually like the best question you could ask me because I do have a background in Gen Chem, Organic Chem, and Biochem. And so I really pull on that to help me understand which ingredients we need to avoid putting in our bodies, on our bodies, based on like if they're hormone disruptors or not. So for example, chemical sunscreens. Chemical filters are like your avobenzone, your oxybenzone. Countries and places in the world are starting to ban them because they kill coral reefs, but they also disrupt our hormones. And there's tons of studies out there. And so these are the type of chemical filter sunscreens that you'll find mixed in with, say, a sunscreen / moisturizer or a foundation that has sunscreen in it. So just because you see something that has an SPF factor in it doesn't actually mean that it's good for you. And it's actually scary that a lot of these really bad ingredients for your body are readily available in products. However, you can buy cigarettes if you wanted to, or you could get that fast food if you wanted to, but it doesn't mean that just because it's available and it's Health Canada or FDA approved, there's a lot of really bad things out for you. So I'm happy to show you one of my favorite sunscreens. I'll just grab it just a sec.
Yeah.
So this sunscreen is a mineral-based sunscreen. So why I like this one is because it has a tint to it. So it's doing a couple of different things. And I'm all about using
What
products
brand is that?
that one's the Tizo 3. You can actually get this on my e-store at rachelvarga.ca.
Okay.
So it's got antioxidants in it. It's got vitamin C. It's got vitamin E. It functions as a primer, and it gives you a little bit of coverage as well, which is fabulous because a lot of times primers are filled with silicones and things like that. So it's like when you start to really pare down what you're putting on your skin, you're going to be exposing your skin and body to less potential ingredients that aren't good for you. So this is a mineral filter, and it has a blend of both zinc and titanium mineral-based sunscreen filters. So these are really what you want to go for. But there's a lot of mineral sunscreens out there that are like all zinc, or the consistency isn't quite right. Either they're nanoparticles or they're not micronized. And so this one is a really, really great one. That's a tried and true one. But yeah, there's a lot of other medical grade sunscreens out there that are still chemical filters. So just because you see it available at a doctor's office doesn't actually mean that it's good, because it all comes down to going to a provider or someone like myself that really is sort of on that leading edge of which things are good for us, which things are getting banned, because it does oftentimes take a couple of years to really filter down into, consumerism. So I'm all about helping you guys become more conscious beauty consumers and consumers in general. The other list of ingredients you absolutely want to avoid are parabens, phthalates, sulfates, artificial dyes and fragrances, and obviously not being tested on animals. And then to even go further, you really want to be supporting companies that are really actually doing their best to make an impact in the world. They treat their employees well. When they send me products, they're not sending all this extra additional shipping. What are some of their social perspectives? What are some of their culture and internal beliefs? I really encourage that you look into the companies that you're considering supporting and buying from, and do your due diligence. This does take a little extra work, but being a more conscious consumer is really important. And when you're looking at getting some of these different products, obviously this is just one of 10 brands I work with. I find it's absolutely worthwhile to have things customized just for you and have someone kind of help you out with it. And we're not just talking about going to the department store or whatever, and the sales girl behind the counter is, reading the back of the label just as much as you are, right? It's working with someone like myself who's really seen thousands of people do well with certain types of protocols based on their skin goals and even their genetic backgrounds, believe it or not. People with different genetic backgrounds tend to do either better or worse with certain protocols and certain actives.
Hey guys, I wanted to tell you I'm offering a free weight loss virtual Bible study. Now is the perfect time to focus on understanding true hunger and fullness and learn what the Bible has to say about it. All you have to do is go to chantelrayway.com/Bible study. After you sign up, you'll receive a 6-week Bible study video that you can watch on your own, or you can get a small group of people and do it together. That's chantelrayway.com/Bible study for your free 6-week Bible study course. Awesome. So what about foods that you see are like kind of triggers for people with skin issues? Like, is there any kind of foods that you've seen? And obviously everyone's different, right? Like you're allergic to this, you're allergic to that. But is there any foods that you would say seem to be triggers for a lot of people?
Yeah, obviously the gluten, the dairy, all that stuff, those are big ones. But basically anything that's inflammatory, that's what you want to avoid. Because when I'm working with someone and they have red reactive skin, they're quote unquote sensitive, or someone's told them that they have rosacea, it's not only the foods that they eat, but it's also, the ingredients in some of those prepackaged foods, and also their environment in their home, what type of cleaning products that they're using. So I am a firm believer in actually getting some specific labs done to isolate which foods and products and ingredients and lifestyle ways of being are inflammatory for your specific physiology. But yeah, in general, the gluten, the dairy are some of the heavy hitters. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, this has been awesome. Tell listeners where they can find you and where they can follow you.
Yeah, I'm oftentimes hanging out on Instagram at Rachel Varga Official and Facebook, the same thing. I'm on the Rachel Varga podcast, and I look forward to sharing our episode, Chantel, with my audience as well, talking about intermittent fasting and just living well, right? And you can book a call with me at rachelvarga.ca. I have summer skin camp going now. So this is a 6-week program where it's so much fun. We're just having a blast. I hop in there 2 times a week for live Q&A, and I guide people through how to get their skin on point in 6 weeks, whether it's in the summer, or I also have winter skin camp as well. So it's like seasonal, access to me, which is really cool. So say, for example, after you've had a call with me and you just need a little extra guidance to, what you're going to end up doing in the clinic or at home, like dermal rolling, red light therapy, all that stuff. That's a really great way to stay in contact. But yeah, one of my favorite things I do is Rachel Varga podcast, just sharing the body, mind, spirit, energy aspects and sharing how we can align all of those aspects to really bring forth a higher level of beauty and radiance. Because you could be doing all the things, you could be getting all the procedures, but if you're not tuned into yourself in regards to body, mind, spirit, energy, it almost doesn't seem to matter, because this is just like, okay, I couldn't make this stuff up if I tried. This is just what I see my most vibrant patients doing. And I love sharing that because all that stuff is actually free. So depending on what sort of lifestyle or budget you're coming from, there's always something that you can do. And I love helping support people all over the world.
Well, it's funny because I was telling my mom, earlier this week that I was going to be talking to you, and she's like, oh, well, ask her what I should do with my skin. And I'm like, Mom, she's not going to be able to tell you what you need to do with your skin until you do a call with her. And it's kind of like the best analogy would be like, if I was going to talk with someone on the phone and be like, well, what do you think I should do with my hair? It's like, well, I need to see your face. Right? Don't you think that's a good analogy? It's like, you could talk to a hairdresser until she sits down and sees you and says, okay, well, you've got a round face. You need to do this style with it, or, whatever you need to do.
Yeah, the best one is, well, how many foils do you think I'll need? Or like, how many units or vials of this do you think I'll need? It's like, yeah, you got to hop on a call. So I do video calls so that I can also see the different expressions and animations that people make. So just be aware of some of these websites that are quote unquote customizing their routine for you. They're asking for a photo or they're asking for a couple of questions. I don't really feel like that's enough. I really can glean a lot from talking with you and just kind of assessing some certain things in your lifestyle that you can tweak, and then seeing your aging process. It does have to happen through a video call for sure, not just, email back and forth, random questions. But I wanted to extend a gift to everybody listening as well. So if you use the promo code Chantel Ray, that will allow you access to 50% off of the call with me and anything off of my e-store, including registration into summer skin camp, or if you're listening to this in the winter skin camp. So always happy to collaborate with awesome women like yourself, Chantel. It's just amazing seeing you again today.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And you guys stay tuned. We've got another episode coming up in just a few. Bye-bye for now.
This has been a SIMPRONTO Media production.